ThriVe St. Louis's mission is to empower people to make life-affirming and healthy decisions about sex, pregnancy, and relationships. Joining me today is President Bridget VanMeans. Thank you so much for being here today. Your message is so important, and I love when I get the opportunity to share this kind of a message with our viewers.
Well, we're excited to be here. We're always happy to talk about what we're doing.
Right. And, you know, I did some research on you, and I know a little bit about you, but I want you to talk about who your parents were and how that formed your story and why you do what you do.
Yes, I had an exciting beginning. It was a dark and stormy night. No. My mom was a single mom. She was 19 and found herself pregnant. We always say that, right? Found ourselves pregnant.
Yeah.
She found herself pregnant. She wasn't married. She was attending college. She was at University of Wisconsin-Madison. She was a National Merit Scholar and on a full scholarship, and so just a bright future ahead of her. And she found herself pregnant during summer, and that was quite a crisis for her and also for her family.
Why was that such a crisis?
And, well, in general, of course, being a single mom and not being married, that represents a crisis, but there was an extra little level. Right. Because my mom was a beautiful Irish-German girl and my dad was African-American, and so that added an element of crisis to the situation. Quite a bit more accepted now, but not so accepted then.
Right.
And so I don't know how she did it, but she had the courage and the bravery to decide to have her baby, and that baby is me, and that's why I'm sitting here today.
How did her parents react?
They were very, very upset. I think everyone can relate to that. And again, context of time, it was so unheard of. And so in the beginning, they were very upset and very frightened. Fear, makes us upset. And though once I came along, I was such a cute little thing, I just won them right over. So yay, grandparents.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah. I'll give you that. But how has that impacted who you've become?
Well, I think I never saw the direct, I just kind of felt like I was doing the next thing that I felt passionate about, but it's pretty obvious that I was impacted by that story. My mom never hid the story from me. And then I also do have early memories of my mom being a struggling single mom. That's not an easy thing to do. Even if you have all the resources in the world, it's difficult. And so I would see her sacrificing a lot. I saw stress there. And that had an impact on me. And so there weren't programs like ThriVe then. There really was no such thing. Those would come along a little bit later. And so without even realizing it, there's obviously a direct connection, and that's where my real passion is. In fact, just on Saturday, I got to spend some time with about 50 of our brave moms, and my heart just goes out to them. I have such a passion and a commitment to empowering them.
We're going to hear from one of them a little bit.
Yeah, you are.
Later
one of our faith. Yeah.
Right. But you know what? You said ThriVe. That's the name of your organization. Tell me why ThriVe.
Well, ThriVe, we went actually through a marketing plan, branding plan about 9 years ago, but at its root is it's telling women what's going to happen if they use our services. We want women to feel empowered, to feel very powerful in their choice. We like to provide authentic choice, so we just want to make sure that they have all the information at hand. And if they do have that dimly, that little light in their heart that says they're ready to be a mom, even though the circumstances might be difficult like my mom's, we want to make sure that they're feeling empowered. We don't want them to feel desperate. We don't want them to feel backed into a corner. We want them to thrive. We want their lives to continue to thrive. And of course, we want their children to thrive. So it says a lot just in that name.
Right. You brought a picture of a bus, and I know we have some pictures.
There it is,
There it is right
there.
there.
Hi, Jake. All of our units have names, so that's Jake. Meet Jake.
All right.
Yes, isn't he handsome?
What does Jake do?
So we decided a few years ago that we wanted to take things on the road, not just wait for women to come to us, because sometimes there are transportation limitations, things like that. So these units actually go out into underserved communities. They also interact with the colleges. So bringing the services right to our young women when they're experiencing a crisis has really opened up a lot of new doors for us.
What's the cost of those services?
Actually, that's what's one of the most amazing things. Not only are the services free, no-cost services, the settings themselves are world-class settings. So free clinics are wonderful, but many times they're not that nice, not that comfortable. And we really kind of have lavish centers. They're very, very beautiful and super comfortable. And very professional services. So it's pretty much a miracle that you can walk in with insurance, without insurance, and find your way to world-class women's services in a beautiful setting.
All right, you're talking about services, and I want to get a little more into those services, but we do have to take a quick break.
Okay.
Let's
if we
take this
have
break.
to. All right.
And when we come back, let's really talk about some of those services that you provide, because you provide some amazing services to the community.
Happy to do it.
So stay with us at STL Live. We'll have more with ThriVe St. Louis after this break.